we will go to MLA Gallagher.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to start off with a few questions for Ms. Gomez. I think we all understand the importance of our temporary foreign worker program and how crucial these workers are to our agriculture and seafood sector. And they're generally, as I understand it, they are generally covered by the same protections as Nova Scotia workers under the Labour Code. However, there's one big missing piece. Migrant workers in these sectors do not have MSI coverage. So Ms. Gomez, I'm curious if you could tell me what happens when one of these workers get sick on the job, because as it says in your reports, which I think each MLA received last week, actually, the Heavy Hearts and Minds report, it says that the majority of respondents, 77% in our Heavy Hearts and Minds study, worried that they could lose their job if they took time off for physical or mental health needs. If you could tell me more.
Ms. Gomez.
Thank you. Yes, so in Nova Scotia, you have to have a 1-year work permit to be eligible for MSI. And we know that migrant workers in the agricultural sector, many come through the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. They may come and often do come year after year, sometimes for decades, to Nova Scotia. But their work permits are only up to 8 months of the year for these workers. So they're systemically excluded from MSI. When that happens, they would have access and should have access to a private health insurance, which is tied to their employment. But as we saw in Carrie Ann's case, when her employment was terminated, so was her private insurance. We know that in provinces like Ontario and Quebec, if you're coming to Canada through the same program called the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program, you do have access to healthcare coverage publicly on arrival. So that's a situation where Nova Scotia is behind other provinces. And what happens is it's very challenging and stressful for Carrie Ann. She was not only battling cancer, also in cancer treatments and having to advocate for her right to healthcare access. Ultimately, she was able to make a special application for federal healthcare coverage, which was granted. But the province has a responsibility to play there. We supported another migrant worker from Mexico who worked in the Annapolis Valley, and his employer did not provide training and asked him to undertake unsafe work. And that worker became seriously injured. The employer did not have workers' compensation. The worker did not have a right to MSI, and the private insurance was not applicable because this was a workplace situation, and now the worker was told that he owes over $100,000 for having a workplace injury in Nova Scotia.
Thank you.